What mattered now was patching her up. She winced several times as he washed the blood from her face, despite his being as gentle as possible. He was particularly careful around her eyes. "You're in luck," he said conversationally. "You'll have black eyes like a bare-knuckle boxer, but there's no serious damage." As he cleaned the gash on her head, he asked, "Who beat you?" She made a choked sound and cringed away from him. Noticing the glint of a wedding ring on her left hand, he asked, "Was it your husband?" Jane stared down at her hand as if she'd forgotten the ring she wore. Then she wrenched off the narrow circlet of gold and hurled it across the examination room. The ring bounced from the wall and rattled across the floor. "Sell it! Help! Infirmary!" she whispered hoarsely. Her uplifted face revealed her bruised throat. The brute had tried to strangle her. Jane's movements caused her cloak to slide from her shoulders, revealing a bloody slash down her back. The jagged laceration ran from her left shoulder almost to her waist. She must have been stabbed as she tried to escape. The tip of the blade had skittered to the left when it hit the edge of her stays, then continued downward through the padded garment. Keeping his voice calm, Daniel reached for his heavy scissors and cut away the stays. Her gown and corset were good quality, but the bodice was ruined, and her thin shift was stuck to the laceration by dried blood. Dampening the shift allowed him to pull it gently from the wound, though Jane gasped as he peeled it away. "Luckily, this isn't deep, though I imagine it hurts like Hades, particularly since he was now cleaning the wound with gin." Jane would probably carry the scars of this night for the rest of her life, but at least this one would be concealed. He continued his soft stream of commentary to soothe her. Laurel assisted him, preserving Jane's modesty as much as possible. When Daniel finished cleaning the wound, Laurel said, "You'll need new clothing, Jane. Daniel, could you bring some garments from our supply?" Daniel might not be as adept at choosing female clothing as Laurel, but they had a standing rule that a woman who had just been battered wouldn't be left alone with a man, even him. He nodded and got to his feet, feeling the weight of the long day. "Do you have a place to go tonight? Family? Friends?" Gaze still downcast, Jane whispered, A friend will take me in." "That's enough for tonight, but this can't be allowed to happen again," Laurel said firmly. "We'll summon the magistrate and you can bring charges against the man who beat you." "No." Jane clutched her ruined clothing close, her voice frantic. "The only way I can be safe is by leaving Bristol. A magistrate cannot help." Daniel frowned. Jane seemed determined not to return to the brute, but too often women went back to the men who had injured them because they had no other choice. While he was out of the room, Laurel would counsel the girl. Jane was not the first patient in need of clothing, so Laurel had filled 2 large wardrobes with garments for both sexes and all ages. Some were donated by local churches, others she'd found in rag shops. After patching and washing, the clothing was clean and respectable, if not fashionable. The girl needed a loose smock that wouldn't hurt her injured back. Shoes? No, she was wearing sturdy, well-made half-boots. Swiftly he collected what she needed and tucked everything into a simple canvas bag that she could carry easily. Lastly, he chose a deep bonnet and a cloak that would cover up her injuries and bandages. After he delivered the garments, Laurel shooed him from the examination room so she could help Jane dress. He frowned as he closed the door behind him. He and Laurel offered services, not money. Almost all of the generous allowance provided by Laurel's estranged husband was spent running the infirmary, and cash was tight. But sometimes exceptions must be made. His office was only a few steps away, so he unlocked the door and opened the hidden desk drawer where he kept money. Jane didn't look as if she had a penny to bless herself with. How much would it cost for her to run away and keep herself until